1969 MGB GT.
Hey babe.
Hi.
First impressions?
I thought we were renting like a $10,000 MGB GT, and what we actually got is like a $2,500 MGB GT, maybe even a parts car that somebody got running. She's a little rough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna shoot a video instead of more of like an MGB GT review, more like a cautionary tale of be careful what you rent on Driveshare.
Yeah.
I would like to hold your hand. The problem is I have to use both of them to drive this thing.
Why is that?
When you hit a bump, it changes lanes. Oh, rain on one of our trips. How weird. You think the wipers work?
I don't know. Let's try them.
I don't even know which one's what. No, not that.
What did that do?
I don't know. Nothing.
Maybe that one?
No, that's on.
Oh. Maybe this?
Oh, there we go. Nice.
It only has 2 though.
Right. Hopefully you guys can hear it over the wind. So when me and Sarah are traveling, if we have the opportunity, we like to use the website Driveshare, which is through Hagerty. And basically it's like enterprise rent-a-car where you can just rent a car for however many days, but they specialize in older vehicles, which is really cool. So you get to like rent stuff that you've always wanted to drive. One of them is an MGB GT. I actually looked at one of these with my dad when I was 14, and I don't remember why we decided not to buy it. But yeah, so I've been interested in these cars for a long time. So we rented this car, and my expectation was we were getting a $10,000 MGB GT. Unfortunately, what we got is like a parts car that somebody got running. So let me show you guys some of the issues with the car. And I guess this is kind of a cautionary tale. If you're renting one of these rideshare, driveshare kind of platforms, Turo, yeah, just be careful what you're renting. The pictures looked fantastic. They look good on this car, but we've been driving it now. I think we've had it, I don't know, not long. We've probably done 40 miles in it, and yeah, it's pretty rough. So let me show you guys around this this car. So from 20 foot, it looks pretty nice, and then as you get closer, you realize that somebody just tacked on like all the bodywork. It's literally just tacked in there. And some of it's not tacked on, which is not the biggest issue, but it is pretty jank. I mean, I don't know anybody that would paint a car before they at least ground this down. So the whole car is like this. And then all the trim's missing on the doors, so I'm pretty sure it leaks when it rains. There's no carpet in it. Here's the wiring. Let me think here. Oil gauge doesn't work. The mile per hour doesn't work, or the speedo. And then when you're driving it, I'm pretty sure the dash, let me show you this. The dash is not even bolted in. Yeah, so I have a lap belt, which is pretty common for these early cars. Sarah, though, in this passenger seat, she doesn't have anything. No seat belts at all. The car is also not registered. I'm pretty sure it has, is that Canadian plates? Yeah, it's got Ontario plates on it. Just jank as crap. The suspension, like when you're driving on the freeway, and not fast. I mean, when you're going like 55 and you hit a bump, it throws the whole car sideways. So, anyways, yeah. I think we're gonna try to return this to the lucky owner and try to rent something else that's not gonna kill us, because we'd like to go up in the mountains over the next couple days. Basically, this MGB is a big hunk of crap. I mean, yeah, if I was... Well, it looks good from 20 foot away. So I took some pictures to show you guys. But yeah, like if I was gonna buy this car, it would be like $2,000. So there's not really any $2,000 cars that are worth renting. Maybe a $2,000 Miata, I don't know. Thing's a hunk of crap. I kept hearing this clunk noise. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was ice cream at first.
Chili?
No, I think it's chocolate cake icing.
Oh.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Craig that rented it? Craig, I'm sorry. What's his name? Craig. Yeah, Craig. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm gonna throw this away because it's just gross. Alright, so the current situation is we put a request in at Driveshare to cancel the rental on the MGB.
We're at Panera.
Yeah, we're sitting at Panera using the Wi-Fi so we can do all this in comfort. But you can't actually cancel. You just like send a request in to like have somebody contact you. And I was like, and it said may take 48 hours. I was like, dude, this is not gonna work for us. Luckily, the guy at Driveshare, though, he called, I don't know, within like 15 minutes of us putting the request in. And I explained what was going on. I'm like, look, this car is a little too rough for us. You know, I can't be driving something that tries to change lanes on the freeway, let alone go in the mountains with it. It was almost like one of the rear shocks was blown. MGB GTs don't have shocks. They have like a weird resistance lever. Regardless, one of them was like blown and one wasn't or something, and it just was wonky. Anyways, right before he called though, Sarah said, hey, let's just go in and book a different car. We'll drop this one off and we'll let Hagerty take care of it whenever they can take care of it. I was like, yeah. So we went in and booked a Mustang convertible, like a 66 Mustang. She calls like 5 minutes after we book it. And she's like, hey, so I know you booked it for this afternoon, but the car's out of town, and I won't be able to get it to you until tomorrow, which would either leave us without a car for a day, or we'd have to drop the janky, or we'd have to keep driving the janky MGB, which I'm not a fan of. Sarah doesn't like that she doesn't have a seatbelt. And also, the car ripped her jacket. She's very upset. She said, this car has sharp metal everywhere. Anyways, so that rental didn't work out, and so I told Dee Dee, I was like, okay, well, let me cancel it because, you know, I have to find a car today. So we go, log back in. I cancel that rental because it's not available. You know, it said it was. She was really sweet. Anyways, the Driveshare guy, I get a hold of him and I tell him all the problems. I'm like, dude, this car is too jank. I mean, I'll drive a risky car. This is not something I want to drive. And I was like, look, man, here's the problem. I need a car today. And the only way for me to contact the owner is to book the car. And then he calls me and says, oh yeah, it's available, or no, it's not. I was like, I'm assuming you have access to their phone numbers. Here's a couple cars I'm looking at. Can you call them and see if there's a car available? And if there is, awesome, call me back and I'll rent whatever car you tell me is available and we'll go from there. So yeah, we're waiting on the guy from Driveshare, which he was really nice, to call us back. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So okay, so we've been back in Texas for a couple of days now, and initially I was pretty pissed off, so I didn't want to shoot the recap to this video until I had time to think about it. And the reason why I was pissed off is we rented this car with the expectation that we were going to have a good running car for 3 days. We made the arrangements ahead of time. We paid a significant amount of money. I think that rental on that car was $115 a day with a $500 deposit. To me, that's worth the money because I get to drive something that I might in the future be interested in buying. I get to spend 3 days with it and see how I like it, you know, and then after that period's over with, I can say, hey, you know, is this a car I would want? Yes or no? I can shoot some YouTube videos on it. The owner, which I'll just use his first name, Craig, in Denver, I sent him messages about the car, and he made a comment saying that the car was in the middle of restoration. And I thought what he meant by that was, oh, it just got fresh paint and I'm working on it. And I thought the way he said it, it made me as a car enthusiast think, oh, he means he's actively refreshing the car. I don't care. I mean, it sounds like he's an enthusiast. He likes the car. He's spending money on it. If there's a few things not quite right with it, I mean, it's fine with me. When we rented the Jaguar E-Type in March, I think, February, March, that car had a few issues. It had a little bit of a leak in the rain. It was burning oil, a significant amount of oil. And I just kept topping it off. You know, it's an old car. The owner didn't purposely rent it to me with problems. These showed up as I was driving it. I let the owner know. He said, I apologize. I said, no big deal. I'll take care of your car. I'll keep adding oil to it. It'll get to you without the motor being messed up. And he said, okay. That stuff happens. They're old cars. What Craig did was knowingly rent a really, really bad car. I showed some of it on film. What I didn't get was when I pulled up, he added brake fluid to the reservoir, which at first I just kind of thought, oh, he's a nervous owner and he just wants to make sure everything's topped up. After reflection on it, I think the car had brake leaks and he was nervous it was going to run out of fluid. I also just quickly jumped in and didn't really give the car a real good look around. It was cold. It was super windy. He showed me a few things of the car and I took off. Major problems in the car. It had no molding on the driver's windows, which means that any kind of weather, wind, rain, snow, there was about a ½ inch gap. That's not okay. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm all for working with an owner of a classic car, but I'm not going to get drenched and have to change clothes just because I'm driving and it happens to drizzle. The brakes did not work very well. And in fact, about 10 miles before I was on the way to return it, they got worse. They started vibrating really bad. And I think what happened was one of the calipers was stuck. It came unstuck, and that rotor was warped. That's the only way to explain it all of a sudden vibrating out of nowhere. The motor, the carbs were not tuned right. It drove really poorly under like 2,000 RPM. So starting out from a stoplight, terrible. It had an extreme amount of valve clatter. I was really worried this like motor was gonna blow. Let's see what else. The shocks were blown, and they were blown in a weird way. It's one thing to have 4 blown shocks. It's another thing to have like the rear right blown and the front left blown, which means that the car was, when it would go over bumps, you're on the freeway, it was hard to control. No seatbelt for the passenger, no insurance, no registration. I'm pretty sure they were false tags out of Canada. I don't think Craig has Canadian tags. What else? These are, the dashboard wasn't bolted on. The steering column was taped together. None of the gauges worked. I think maybe the tack worked. What else? Blinkers didn't work. Headlights didn't work unless I literally had to reach underneath and shake the wiring loom to get the headlights to come on. What else? The car was absolutely, I would say if you were going to keep it under 30 miles an hour and only drive it in town, it might be okay. Maybe. But who wants to do that? Who wants to take a classic car and drive around the city all day? So, Craig, you're an a-hole. You shouldn't have rented that car. You should never put it on Hagerty. Yeah, you're not an enthusiast. You're a scam artist. So I hope if anybody's in Denver and they see the green MGB GT on there, don't rent it. My next piece to this is Hagerty. Specifically Hagerty and their car rental site, Driveshare. It is a fantastic idea. I am your ideal customer. I appreciate classic cars. I'm a good renter. I take care of them when I rent them. I actually want to rent them and make plans to rent the cars. I've spent the money to rent cars with you. I'm your target customer. I travel a lot. So if I know I'm going somewhere, I immediately go on your website and I start looking to see what cars are there. These are my gripes though, and you guys really need to fix this stuff, because if I'm your target customer and I'm on my what should be 3rd rental and I've only had 1 that actually worked, that's not good. I mean, I'm sitting here like, this is a pain in the butt. Like it was a complete failure. As an update, the guy that contacted me from your site was nice. He was fast. I told him what I was trying to do. He seemed very helpful, but when it comes down to the reality is he didn't help me. He never called back to find us a rental. I don't know what happened, but there's no call back. I still have a bill that I've paid to you guys for that 3-day rental. I only had the car less than 24 hours. So you owe me money. I need my money back. So I never got a call back about the rental, about canceling. I never got a call back if he found me another car. I just went somewhere else and rented I went to Hertz and rented a Jeep. I think to solve this problem, you need to structure your rental site as if the renter is coming to buy the vehicle. So as an example, I would like to see the cars listed as if they were on Bring a Trailer. I want to see pictures, because me being a car enthusiast, as well as other people rent cars, I want to see the pictures because I want to see if the car's been maintained, because I don't want to waste my time and go rent something and have this big mess happen. When people are on vacation, every hour you waste, that's a really expensive hour. You know what I mean? It's different than if I'm just sitting at home on my couch. When I'm visiting somewhere else, we put a lot of time, effort, and money to travel to that place. And so an hour wasted is a big deal. And when I say hour wasted, I mean multiple hours, messing around with this car, trying to get it returned, trying to find another car. I want to see due diligence. I want the owners to post pictures of the cars. Not only do you provide insurance on the cars, this would help you know if the cars are worth insuring or insuring for a certain price, but it'll also help the renters see if the car is in good shape. But there's some very simple questions that need to be answered about the cars. Have they been driven X amount of miles in a certain amount of time? So me as a renter, if I'm planning on driving a car 200 miles a day for 3 days, that's 600 miles. I want to know that the owner has also done similar mileage in the car, or another renter has, and what did they say about the car? I think this should be an open discussion. When you go to rent somebody's car, there needs to be feedback left, and other people need to be able to see that. And that will keep you guys, it'll take some of the liability off Hagerty and Driveshare and put it onto the renter. And there needs to be some kind of repercussion when a renter rents you a car and it's not up to regular driving standards. I mean, it needs to run and drive safely. It's not hard to do. We're talking about a motor that runs good, a transmission that shifts good, brakes that work good, tires that are good. It needs to be waterproof. That's not very many things. Yeah. So again, as a customer who is probably your ideal target customer, I'm not too happy with y'all's service. So yeah, I'll try to rent again from you guys when I get a chance, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna give it one more shot, and if it doesn't work out and things don't aren't normal, a pretty easy rental process, then I'm done. And that's unfortunate. It's the coolest idea. I would be a lifelong renter from you guys. And instead, here I am, a disgruntled customer. So anyways, all right, guys, that wraps up the complete fail of a rental of the MGBGT in Denver. Yeah. So next up, we've got more videos with the Cougar. Hey, little girl. More videos with the Cougar. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out.